the toll records.
All right, so you have been watching live on Capitol Hill there. Jack Smith testifying in this House Judiciary hearing going on for a couple hours now. Jack Smith firmly standing by his Trump investigation at this congressional hearing. You've heard him double down on his defenses of it. Let's bring back in Carrie Urban. She's our Fox News legal editor. You have been tracking every moment of this. What strikes you from what you've heard now?
You know, I'm still struck by the emails that were discussed between Jack Smith's team and the public integrity section at Main Justice headquarters, where they warned Smith that there is a litigation risk with him going after or obtaining, rather, these phone records from sitting members of Congress. But then it's discussed that the risk is low. And why is that? Because they didn't know about it. And the litigation risk would have been these members conceivably would have intervened and said, hey, wait a second, I protest the fact that you are taking my phone records. I think this is a big separation of powers problem. There's a speech and debate clause potentially problem, but they didn't know, so they couldn't. And that's why the litigation risk was low. And, you know, this is like, I think maybe the biggest problem that I have today with what's been coming out, just this pattern, this relentless pattern of Smith and his team hiding what they were doing from Congress and really the American people in a way that allowed them to get information they ordinarily wouldn't have probably been able to get, nor should they have, had they been upfront about it. And the reason they did that was because they knew. I mean, this was sneaky. They were playing games. They knew the judges would raise questions. They knew that AT&T would raise questions if they actually knew they were turning over the personal cell phone records of the sitting Speaker of the House. They knew that, and they went ahead and did it anyway, which I think, again, speaks to Smith's reputation. Prosecute at all costs. I'm going to make the law work because I want to get the guy.
Right. Chip Roy read a long list of individuals and organizations that had been targeted for phone records. And as you pointed out, the reason why AT&T gave the phone records, or at least the toll records, the then Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, was because they didn't know that it was him who was being targeted. I thought it was interesting. Jeff Van Drew had a very quick aside when Jack Smith was trying to say, look, there's no politics involved in my prosecution. I equally prosecute Democrats and Republicans. I equally dismiss charges against Republicans and Democrats. Jeff Van Drew jumped in and said, because you didn't have the proof. So I thought that was a pretty quick comeback from him. I mean, why would you dismiss charges unless you didn't have the proof? But then the flip side of that coin is, are you overzealous in trying to prosecute the sitting president or then former president and really going out beyond your authority in the way that you're conducting this investigation?
Right, and this penchant for gag orders, right? You know, these gag orders so that the phone companies couldn't tell the members of Congress that their records were being turned over to the special counsel. And these are, you know, prominent members of Congress, of the Senate, you know, and Kevin McCarthy. It's quite shocking, honestly. But it's also not surprising because we did know that Jack Smith had an affinity for gag orders during President Trump's re-election campaign. And over and over and over, he sought broad gag orders against Trump. I mean, at one point, John, I don't know if you remember this, even the ACLU came out and said they were uncomfortable with what Jack Smith was doing because there was a trampling of his First Amendment rights that were happening. It was like he couldn't discuss anything, you know, even the substance of the testimony. But that was the whole point, right? Like he's saying I won, and they're saying he didn't, and he did things to, you know, make it do what he did.
And then the other court cases against the president as well, when everybody who was involved in the prosecution was saying things, but the president wasn't allowed to come back
in the
and
trial
tell
in
his
New
side
York.
of the story.
That's right. Now that wasn't Smith, but nonetheless, it's just amazing. It's like suddenly the First Amendment doesn't apply to Donald Trump, which is ridiculous, obviously, and scary.
Carrie, thank you for the analysis.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.